What is up, guys? Back like we never left. How exciting was that chapter? I mean, really, it was unbelievable and one of the best chapters this year. I'm not going to say the best because I'd have to go back, reread all those chapters and then compare, but hey, that's not why we're here. We're here to discuss chapter 801. One Piece. I'm going to go through the chapter. We're going to just touch on some points. I'm not going to recap everything that happened. I'm sure we've all reread this chapter numerous times before, and I'm not going to do that and put you guys through that. We're just going to touch on the key points, discuss them, give what I think about them, basically. And that's what we're going to do. So yeah, the chapter starts off in Dressrosa, and Dressrosa is now wrapped up. And the only thing I really cared about in this chapter, or this part of the chapter, was seeing Luffy's and Usopp's statue. I thought seeing the statues of Luffy and Usopp was hilarious because it just showed that these people do care about Luffy and Usopp, or God Usopp, and they built a statue in their honor. I mean, the other statue is Kiro, so that was great. First, before we move on, I must mention Rob Lucci, and he's in Secret Zero, and we also see Spandam. Now, he was not confirmed, neither was Lucci, but we can make our intelligent assumptions, and based on his goatee and Spandam's hair, we can say for sure, or certainly for a fact, or not a fact, but more than likely, it's Rob Lucci and Spandam. How strong has Rob Lucci gotten over the past 2 years or so? I'm not sure, but he's clearly strong enough to be in CP0, but Spandam is in there as well. But there seem to be levels to this, okay? So Lucci seems to be a boss, and Spandam is an associate. So how high is Lucci on the pecking order? I'm not sure, but he's pretty damn powerful now, I assume. I would think that Lucci could probably rival Luffy when he's in Gear 4, when he goes to his full Zoan mode. Let's move on to the second part of the chapter, which I feel like was probably the most interesting part for me, and that's Doflamingo's speech. Now we see Tsuru, Fujitora, and Sengoku, and they're having a conversation. Sengoku and Fujitora are having a conversation, and Fujitora is expressing his dismay for letting these guys get away, which we know is BS. But let's get to Doflamingo and what he says about the current scape or landscape of the waters, if that makes sense. Now, Doflamingo says that everything will change, and he states that there is a conspicuously empty seat for the Pirate King. Now, what does that mean? For me, I believe that people are starting to wonder, why has no one assumed the position of Pirate King? And I was also thinking that, why haven't Whitebeard, or why didn't Whitebeard assume the position of Pirate King? He said that Whitebeard was ruling the seas, but he knelt before the throne. So essentially what that means is Whitebeard never assumed the position of Pirate King, but he had the opportunity. Whitebeard, maybe he did out of respect, or maybe there's something preventing him from becoming the Pirate King. Maybe there's something more to this that we don't know. Going more to what Doflamingo said though, he's wondering who controls the sea. He is basically thinking out loud and letting them know this is how everybody else is thinking. Because he's saying, does the Yonko rule the seas? Does the Shichibukai? Or is it the worst generation? Now, for me personally, or in my opinion, I think that it is the Yonko that rules the seas, clearly. But the worst generation, they're definitely making noise. Kid, Luffy, Law, Blackbeard technically is part of the worst generation, but in this instance, I believe that he was being referenced as a Yonko. There's no reason to mention him twice. Like, if you're referencing Blackbeard, then you would have no need to reference the worst generation. Okay, like you just reference the Yonko because he's a part of that group. Doflamingo is one of the best characters because of moments like this. Like his brief speech, it was so interesting and it was so impactful because he was thinking how we as fans were thinking. We're thinking, why has nobody assumed the throne? Who rules the seas? And Doflamingo is basically saying that this is going to be a great war and things are really about to get interesting. Inside, I can imagine how happy Tsuru is because she's been chasing Doflamingo for a long time, and seeing him tied up in chains, that probably makes her so happy. I was reminded by my boy Adam Elakad that Jack is the broker that we pissed if Caesar had gotten taken out. So Jack is saying that he's going to attack the ship, even though it's this convoy that's protecting Doflamingo. Okay, he has 3 admirals on that ship, and I doubt there's anybody in the One Piece verse that could take out 3 admirals by themselves. Maybe he rescues him without being noticed, but that is unlikely because I guarantee that Tsuru will have his eyes or her eyes on Doflamingo until they get to Impel Down. Let me move to the last part of the chapter, and that's with the bounties being revealed, okay? And we know the bounties. There's no need to go through what everybody has. We know what the bounties are now. But let's just talk about them getting to that point. I think Luffy having 500 million is great, okay? I thought they would have kind of played on the Ace nostalgia and given 550 to kind of commemorate the whole event. But 500 million, that's cool. Law also has 500 million. Now we go to Zoro, he's 320. Okay, I'm not gonna go through bounties. So all the bounties were revealed and we were excited for that. It was dope, it was hype, it was unbelievable, but they threw a twist in this bounty reveal because we saw Sanji's bounty. And that's 177, up from the 77 million. Sanji's bounty is interesting because they wanted him alive, okay? And the speculation started, the theory started, and everybody's like, aha, I knew it. Alpha too late. You are Oda. We don't know much about Sanji before Baratie. So it's super clever that Oda played on that, right? Because at this point, it's a lot of speculation as far as to what Sanji could be. Gorosei's son, Tenryubito, and all these things, they could be factual. I mean, he could be a prince as well, but only thing we know about Sanji's past is that he's from the North Blue. In my opinion, I believe Sanji is definitely someone important. So a prince, Gorosei, kid, or Tenryubito is definitely in the realm of possibility. Now everyone is pointing out the Gorosei in the suit, the blonde hair, and they're thinking that he has some relation to Sanji. Now, a lot of times we see things in One Piece and we kind of say that's too obvious, it can't be it. And I think the thing with Sabo was we knew he was alive because it was never clarified or covered up, or there was no end, okay? There was no end to Sabo, it was just left out there for your own theories and assumptions. So in this case, I think that Sanji is his son. Showing that Sanji is going to be wanted alive, that was on purpose. That was meant for conversation, to talk about One Piece and the possibilities. Theories help One Piece. One Piece, you can throw out so many theories of One Piece like every day because there's so much that we do not know. Now what do we expect going forward in chapter 802? Now we saw Doflamingo. It's kind of a transition chapter. They headed to Zou, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get to Zou. Maybe they get to Zou next chapter. We see Beppo, and someone was saying that maybe Zou is an island where it's a lot of mink men, where we're going to see there's an island, all these freaking mink men, and Beppo is just going to fit right in. What is happening with Sanji and the crew? Like, are we going to double back and see what happened, how they got away? Also with Kaido and Kid and Apu and Hawkins. I'm interested to see what's going on with them because we saw Kaido reveal, he drops from the Sky Island, and now nothing. Like, what the hell is going on with Kaido? I wonder if next chapter we're also going to see Jack attack that convoy. Now I'm not sure how he's going to pull that off, but it certainly will be interesting because 3 admirals, just thinking about it, who can really defeat 3 admirals at this point that we know of? Nobody. Like, there's nobody that's beating 3 admirals. Suru, she's a vice admiral, blah blah blah. She's admiral level. Okay, you can. Doflamingo was really worried 10 years ago when he was on that island where he killed Rocinante about Suru, okay, because he was out of there. Like, Doflamingo doesn't really worry about people, but he's worried about Suru. So do not sleep on Suru. Oh, she's old, blah blah blah. Why do people kind of knock these characters because they get older? Yes, they're not as strong as they were when they were in their prime, but they're still monsters. And Suru, I have no doubt that Suru is a monster. Yeah, that's all that I was interested in the chapter. I thought it was amazing. It had so many revelations. I could have done without that whole Dressrosa wrapping up and how long they stayed there, show dancing and random stuff, but hey, it was necessary for us to move on, and now we're on to Zou. As far as in my Bill Belichick voice, we're on to Zou. We're on to Zou. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think is going to happen going forward. Do you think we're going to get some more Kaido, some more Sanji, some more Doflamingo? Who the hell is Jack? Because I saw the face guard, I guess, and instantly I thought of Captain Morgan. But, you know, it's Captain Morgan was back then, and he was super weak then. So it's like, for him to get to this point where he's this well-known broker in the underworld, he had to make some significant bounds and leaps to get to that point. So maybe it is Morgan, because a lot of things in One Piece is obvious, but because it's so obvious, we kind of deny it, because we're like, no way in hell, it's too obvious. But that's it though, guys. Like the video if you did. Again, let me know what you thought about the chapter, your thoughts going forward, and subscribe, of course, and have a great day.